Hello Dsav Cooks, this is Hannah and I am back for a second virtual Dsav Cooks. I hope everyone got the chance to make the previous recipe we made at our first Dsav virtual cooks, and I'm sure it turned out delicious if you got the chance to make it. So this week we have another great recipe we're going to make, and I remember everyone saying at cooking class that they loved pizza. That was a big crowd favorite, so I thought we would do the same here at home. So we are going to be making pizza roll-ups this week. And these pizza roll-ups are a perfect at-home snack, and we're only going to be using 3 ingredients this week. So today, our 3 ingredients are going to be crescent rolls, which I already opened. We are going to need some pepperoni, and lastly, some string cheese, and this is mozzarella string cheese. And if you don't have some of these ingredients at home, don't worry. I'm sure if you ask your parents, they will be happy to pick some up for you when they go to the store next. So let's begin cooking. And ladies, let's remember we need to pull up our hair when we're in the kitchen. We don't wear our hair down in front of our food. And then secondly, we need to make sure that we are washing our hands before we enter the kitchen. So I just washed my hands right before I started the video. And of course, lastly, do not forget your Dsav Cooks apron. Make sure you have it on when you're in the kitchen. So to start, I got out a baking sheet. And any size baking sheet is going to work for this recipe because the crescent rolls aren't going to take up a ton of space on your sheet. So if you just have a small or medium-sized pan, it's going to work just as well. And then the next step is we are going to begin by heating up our oven. So we need to look at our packaging on our crescent rolls and see what temperature we need to preheat the oven. And this pack of crescent rolls said to heat the oven up to 375. So I just started heating up the oven, and that way when we are ready to put them in, the oven's already going to be hot and they will start cooking as soon as we put it in. So let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do is separate our crescent rolls, and they're going to come in this round packaging. Now, I pre-opened mine just because sometimes they're a little tricky to open, so if you need help, feel free to ask your parents for help. You're just going to peel the little edge, and it's going to come off, the paper's going to come off, and it's going to be brown like this, and then all you do is just twist it, and the crescent rolls are going to come right out. So all we have to do is pull it out of the packaging, and I'm going to place it on my pan. So it's gonna come out round like this, but if you can see, there's already the little creases and they're already pre-cut, which is really nice. So just follow along the lines, and we're going to pull out the crescent rolls, and I'll be making sure to show you on the pan. Okay. So after I unfolded all of them, I put them on the pan like this, and as you can see, they come off looking like big triangles. So that leads us to our next step. Now, from here on out, it's pretty simple. All we're going to need is our pepperoni and our string cheese, since our crescent rolls are on the pan. And all we're gonna do is, depending on how much you like, we're going to take our pepperoni slices and set them on our triangle, which is our crescent roll. So I'm gonna do about 4 pieces. I'm gonna do about 3 along the top, and then 1 kind of in the middle, if you can see. So I'm doing it on the long edge of our crescent roll. And then the next step is all we're going to do is open up our string cheese, and we are actually going to cut it in half since it's a little long for 1 crescent roll. So just open up our string cheese, and I chose to use mozzarella because that's just the most common on pizza. And all we're gonna do is actually just rip it with our hands, our cheese, it'll come off with your hands. And so we kind of have about a little bit, an even 2 slices of our cheese. So all we're gonna do is just put our 1 slice onto the crescent roll, and we're going to roll it. So as you can see, the cheese is gonna be right on top. And then we're just gonna roll it up. And don't worry about filling all the cracks of the crescent roll, because if some stick out, it's okay because it's gonna go in the oven. So after we roll it, it's gonna look like this. So it's a nice little bite-sized snack. So I'm gonna do that to all of them. And again, it doesn't matter how much pepperoni, or if you don't like pepperoni, you could just use cheese as well. And I'm going to wrap it up with my crescent roll so you can see I'm rolling. And then the skinny part of the triangle, oops, another one stuck to it, is gonna be at the top, and just wrap it around. So as you can see, the pepperoni and cheese is inside the middle. So again, when we put these into the oven, we need to refer back to our crescent roll packaging, how long they need to cook at 375. So our packaging said 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to pop these in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to restart the video and show you guys how they all turned out. So I'm gonna finish, whoop, it rolled off. I'm gonna finish doing my other ones, but until then, I will put these in the oven and let them cook. Okay, I am back. The pizza roll-ups are out of the oven, and I will say that they did take a full 10 minutes to cook, and I do want to show you guys what they look like on the pan fully cooked. But I want to remind you guys that when you go to take them out of the oven and the baking sheet is going to be hot. So remember to grab your pot holders. I don't want anyone getting burned when they go to take out their pizza roll-ups. So if you feel comfortable, make sure you have your pot holders in your hand, or I'm sure your parents or your siblings would love to assist you taking them out of the oven. So since the pan was a little hot still, and I still have my pot holders, I transferred some onto just a regular plate just to show you guys what they look like. And the biggest thing that I realized to notice that they were done is the crescent rolls are going to get a little brown. As you can see, they turn a little bit of a darker brown color, and you can see that the cheese actually doesn't look like the cheese stick anymore. So you can see that the cheese is going to melt. So that is a good hint to know that your crescent rolls are almost done and ready to be taken out of the oven. So that is gonna be all for this week's recipe. These pizza roll-ups were fun and easy to make, and I hope they taste great when you get to make them too. I can't wait to try one of my own. And just a reminder for you guys that I'm going to be recording a new cooking recipe every other week. So be on the lookout for a new email, not next week, but the following week. And I can't wait to get ready for the next recipe.